Let's salvage the RAM, SSD, and GPU out of this HP Omen gaming PC and get them installed in a new motherboard with a brand new CPU, because the CPU that was in here was completely fried and our customer wants to upgrade. Because this case kind of sucks for airflow, and although I would have loved to be able to carry over the motherboard and power supply, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. Because although this motherboard is a standard form factor, it's missing a lot of features. Like the fact that there's no USB 2.0 headers. Like the pads are there, they just don't exist. Nor does it have any headers for RGB. But really what set it over the edge is the non-standard mounting hardware for the CPU. See, the mounting points are not the same for the standard AM4 socket, which means we can't just use any cooler that we want. Which would be fine if the system came with a decent cooler, but it didn't. And although the power supply should be perfectly fine, the reason we didn't carry it over is that it only comes with a single 4-pin CPU cable. And if you thought this was a breakaway cable, maybe the other 4-pin was just hidden behind the motherboard, like I did, it's not. So with that said, with everything out of this old HP Omen gaming PC, let's go ahead and install this motherboard in the Corsair 3500X. And now that the motherboard's installed, as I always recommend, let's get this thing pre-wired. Which is basically the process of plugging in all your front panel headers and fans ahead of time before the case gets too busy. Followed up by pre-installing your modular cables, like so, which once you push them back, gets them in the perfect location to be easily cable managed and plugged into your modular power supply, which we can slide in and screw down. And that process is just so much easier because now we don't have to worry about plugging in these cables after our radiator's installed. So with that done, we simply need to add our water block, screw it down, and plug it in. And then our salvaged GPU, which we can plug in. And just like that, this PC is now good to go as soon as we uninstall the old HP garbage and install all the new motherboard drivers using Gigabyte Control Center. And from going from this HP Omen gaming PC with a fried CPU to this, I think that's a pretty solid upgrade.